You can almost hear his heart racing as he walks willingly into the big house. The high fence, the razor wire, the armed guards and the watchtowers.
Arms out.
Images that take him back to the darkest days of his life.
It's an ugly place. It's ugly, it's nasty, it's dirty.
He's going inside the belly of the beast to help inmates who are wrongfully convicted. Why? Because he once walked in their shoes.
Who better know than us? You know what I mean? Who better know what to look for?
That warm spring night 21 years ago in the tough Oak Cliff neighborhood of Dallas is still a memory that's all too fresh for Christopher Scott.
Every time I even pass by, I get goosebumps. Being in this neighborhood at that particular day changed my life forever.
That's the day cops arrested Chris for a murder he didn't commit.
So the last place you were free before going into prison was right here?
Right here, yeah, laying down in this grass right here.
Chris was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just down the street, inside this rundown duplex, an alleged crack dealer named Alfonso Aguilar and his wife had just been held up at gunpoint.
Had you even heard of Alfonso Aguilar?
Never heard of it.
And you didn't know him?
Didn't know him.
Alfonso was shot and killed as the attackers sexually assaulted his wife.
So what did you think when you were here at your friend's house and you see the police pulling up?
I thought they was looking for someone, but I didn't think they was looking for us. And, you know, it was surprising that when they asked us to come out and when we tried to, they came in with guns drawn.
In this house?
In that house right there. I was sitting on the couch.
Chris says cops tested his hands for gunshot residue and then took him downtown to headquarters for a lineup.
It was like 18 of us in the room. So they took the other 17 people and put them on the other side of the room so they couldn't be seen. They handcuffed me to a bench in front of the glass door, and the cop walked the lady up to me and said, "This is the guy that killed your husband." And she said, "Yes, that's him."
Based solely on the woman's identification, Chris is charged with capital murder, even though there is no physical evidence tying him to the case and no gunshot residue on his hands.
I'm like, capital murder? I'm like, I don't even know what capital murder means. And as I'm walking out the interrogation room, an officer stops me. But he said, "Look, I'm gonna tell you something. This is the reason I don't think you did it."
No, this is an officer.
This is an officer. He said, "You're well groomed, you're well dressed, you're well spoken, you're driving a nice car. I found a paycheck stub in your back pocket." He said, "And this crime is not the crime of somebody like you. This is a crime of a dope fiend."
But they're all pinning it on you.
me. The part that gets me the most is the description they came up with, a police scanner.
Which was?
Which was 2 African-American men, dark complected, one tall, one medium height, with a low haircut. That's everybody in the neighborhood.
The court sets bond at $1 million.
And I talked to my attorney, and he tell me, like, really, they don't have a capital murder case. They don't have it because they don't have no murder weapon, no fingerprints, or nothing. I can't make bond, so I was like, I'm gonna have to just sit this out, and I'm gonna have to fight this, so I feel like I may be able to win when I go to court.
But when Chris gets that court date, he quickly realizes this probably isn't gonna end in his favor.
So now I'm looking at a white judge, a white prosecutor, my attorney white, and all 12 jury members white. It was fun. I made a joke, and it's not fun. I said, the only thing of color in this courtroom is me and the furniture. So right then I said, oh, I'm going to prison.
What was it like being tried for a murder that you know you did not commit?
You know, it's like seeing a TV show. Everybody playing their role. The prosecutor is trying to win an Oscar, but I gotta sell it to the jurors to get this conviction.
Despite the lack of physical evidence, it was the woman's identification that convinced jurors. They deliberated only 6 minutes before delivering a guilty verdict.
My judge asked me an insane question. She was like, why shouldn't I seek the death penalty on you? The only thing I could say is like, how could you kill an innocent man? And you know, her words was, you know what? You just saved your own life. We're not gonna kill you, but we're gonna give you a capital life sentence.
Now a lifer, Chris tells anyone who will listen he's innocent. No one seemed to believe him until a chance encounter in a totally different prison where Chris's biological brother was serving time.
My brother worked in a barbershop, and Alonzo came in a barbershop.
Alonzo Hardy. He was in for a robbery conviction. Chris says Alonzo bragged to his brother about how he got away with murder.
Like me and my friend, we robbed and killed this Hispanic guy, and there's 2 guys in prison, for this case. And my brother was like, that sounds kind of familiar. He was like, well, you know something about the guy that's locked up for you? My brother say, dude, that's my little brother. And my brother say, well, you already know what you gotta do. You gotta do the right thing. Or every day you're in prison gonna be a living nightmare for you, so make your choice.
Hardy made his choice, filing this 4-page handwritten confession letter admitting to his involvement in the killing.
You served his time.
Exactly.
Armed with that affidavit, Chris goes to court to try to clear his name. And this time, he's got a big gun on his side. Then Dallas County District Attorney Craig Watkins. Watkins had vowed to fix the wrongful convictions of his predecessors. James Hammond is an investigator for the Conviction Integrity Unit, which cleared more than 24 men in the last decade.
Eyewitness identification is not the gold standard that everyone thought it to be. You are impacted by your emotions at the time, and you can get it wrong.
And she got it wrong.
Yes.
And it cost Christopher years of his life.
Yes.
Finally, after 13 years behind bars, Chris is smiling, and his family and friends are cheering as the court makes a stunning reversal.
Court of Criminal Appeals opinion, this court finds you actually innocent of these offenses. Today, you are a free man.
What was that walk like into the free world from prison?
It's crazy because I didn't know how to use a cell phone. I didn't know what navigation meant. I would get lost at night, and I had to call somebody right to get me back to, where I was at.
You were lost like a little child in your own city.
In my own city. And I had Dallas County to fault for that because they did that to me. I didn't do it to myself, they did it. And we gotta do better. We gotta do much better.
Coming up,
I know it's a lot of us, what can we do about it?
how Chris is working to help others just like him. Plus, the dramatic confrontation 13 years in the making.
Y'all destroyed a whole lot of lives that day.
Chris tracks down the real killer next.
It was intense. I mean, the tension in the room, you could cut it with a knife. The guard was like, look, I'm gonna lock the door, I'm gonna leave, do what you gotta do.